An Adelaide family has been forced to bring home their mother's remains in a cardboard box after an inquest into her mysterious 2017 was adjourned due to a poor police investigation in Malaysia. Key points: Anna Jenkins's son Greg Jenkins has been disgusted by lack of empathy by Malaysian police. Anna Jenkins's son Greg Jenkins has been disgusted by lack of empathy by Malaysian police. He says police handed him her remains after the inquest adjourned. He says police handed him her remains after the inquest adjourned. Ms. Jenkins was last seen getting into an Uber in December 2017. Anna Jenkins, then 65, also known as Anna Jenkins, went missing in Penang in December 2017 while on a trip with her husband, Frank Jenkins, to visit her mother. The quest to find out what happened to Ms. Jenkins has been led almost entirely by her family after her son, Greg Jenkins, found her belongings and skeletal remains in a nearby development site in 2020. Today, Mr. Jenkins touched down at Adelaide Airport carrying the precious cargo and was met by his sister, Jennifer Bowen. They blame Malaysian authorities for not being able to bring her home alive. The remains of Adelaide mother Anna Jenkins return home after she was in Malaysia. Personally, we hold them responsible for not finding Mum. If they would have followed their procedures, we might not be bringing Mum home in a box. She would be walking back with us, Mr. Jenkins said. He said after the coronial inquest was adjourned, police handed him his mother's remains before he asked they be placed in a sealed plastic bag for better protection. Mr. Jenkins said police responded that it wasn't their job, and they suggested breaking the bones so they could fit in a jar. I was pretty disgusted, and there was no empathy, and there was definitely no mincing my words on what I thought of that suggestion, he said. They found a box to put Mum in and then handed it over. I was a bit numb that first day picking that up and just wanted to go home. Anna Jenkins with her husband Frank and children Greg and Jen. The Jenkins family have been pushing for a full police investigation and coronial inquest into their mother since her disappearance. They believe she was dead, and will now get a DNA test to confirm the skeletal remains do belong to Anna Jenkins. SA Best MLC Frank Pangallo said he had contacted Forensics SA and the SA coroner to seek a formal inquiry into her. I just don't have that much confidence in the Malaysian system, Mr. Pangallo said. We need to ensure that the remains that have been returned are those of Anna Jenkins. Her daughter, Jennifer Bowen, was there to meet her brother when he arrived at Adelaide Airport on Tuesday morning. It's so tough to have to bring Mum home in the way that we did. And the way that poor Greg had to do, it's just not right, she said. M to mute, left and right arrows to seek, up and down arrows for volume. Watch 2 minutes 7 seconds 2 minutes and 7 seconds. The Jenkins family was granted their request for an inquest after publicity about the case last year. Ms. Bowen said her brother was a hero to their family, but their fight was far from over. This man moved mountains, she said. Having Mum home makes our hearts feel a little bit at peace, but we know that the fight's still not over, so we have to keep on going. Anna Jenkins was last seen getting into an Uber from a dental appointment in Penang, heading to her mother's nursing home in Georgetown, but she never made it. However, less than 3 days into proceedings, the inquest held in Penang was adjourned until June due to a lack of evidence from local police.